Right now, let's continue our special 7-part series on the current security situation in Afghanistan and the effects that the departure of the foreign troops is likely to have. In today's episode, we look at women protection in the country. International NGOs say they are worried about the rights of women in Afghanistan amid growing reports of harassment and intimidation in a largely conservative society. And some say they fear recent gains made in the status of women following the fall of the Taliban may be erased should international forces pull out and the elements of the Taliban regime re-emerge. Now, our correspondent Roy Rutenberg reports from Kabul.
These young women are learning an art, how to write calligraphy. They are a handful of students in this government-funded school, which supports both the preservation and promotion of Afghan culture. The school's aim is to turn these women into self-employed entrepreneurs. Their crafts can sell for upwards of $500 apiece, cash they hope can provide for them and their future families. Women in Afghanistan, say NGOs, still don't have access to most of the country's economic resources. And according to the United Nations, 1 in every 11 Afghan women dies in childbirth, as many traditional men deny their wives and daughters access to prenatal clinics that employ male doctors. In a number of provinces, local cultural taboos mean the women are not allowed to work outside of the home or even attend school, despite falling under a central government which claims to protect their rights.
Even in the Afghan capital, it's unusual to see women in public places except for markets like this one, and speaking with them is virtually impossible because the men simply won't allow it. It's one of the many reasons why the women here feel it's all the more important to have someone who speaks for them.
The country's still young constitution guarantees that of Parliament's 250 posts, more than a quarter of the seats are reserved for women. 27-year-old Nahid Farid sits in one of them.
In the last 10 years, they didn't have any right, even they couldn't go outside for shopping. But right now, women like me, they can become a member of the parliament and become a representative of women, and also they can do anything that they want. There is no obstacle, nothing is impeding them.
Earlier this month, a rare outburst in the lower house. The brawl shocked many, though neither woman was reprimanded. The country's president, Hamid Karzai, called it all part of democracy. But other parts of democracy, like the possible inclusion of the Taliban in a future government, has some of the female parliamentarians worried.
If they accept the freedom of women and respect our rights and believe in democratic values, I will accept the Afghan Taliban as my countrymates. But if they come with their rules and create problems like they did in the past, I and thousands of other women will have to leave this country.
The women of Afghanistan admit theirs and their country's future are uncertain. They have seen things change before and know things can change again, and quickly, sometimes before the ink dries. Roy Rutenberg, CCTV, in Kabul, Afghanistan.